Greetings, chess fans. It's good to be back after a longer break, so you have to pardon me being absent for the past couple of weeks right after I went to TwitchCon. The reason is that I have been enjoying my vacation a bit, which is gonna last for several weeks. So I will try to post some videos to keep you entertained and also share my journey, what I'm doing this summer. The previous playlist where I was playing in Estaco Blitz, I thought this is a pretty cool format. I don't think it's gonna continue for the reason is that I don't have the actual videos. So for some reason, only the first 3 rounds were available in the video format and everything else is missing. So unfortunately, I cannot continue those game commentaries. But the format is something I absolutely intend to continue in the near future. So anyway, what I'm going to talk about in this video and the upcoming videos, I'm not really sure about the pace, how I'm going to post them. It could be like every 2 or 3 days or so. I recently played in a rapid and blitz tournament in Cēsis, which is a very, very nice tourist city, about 90 kilometers from Riga. And the cool thing about it is that we played in tents in the middle of the city in a park. So it was a very, very chill atmosphere. And I played essentially 9 memorable games. So there you go. I'm going to continue my playlist inside the mind of a Grandmaster. Even though these are rapid games, I think I managed to play some quality games. So hope you're going to enjoy them. Have fun. And the very first game, this is round 1 game, I played against the talent Oleg Kalinin. Yeah, I don't know the guy. He's rated about 1800. A small kid, but definitely knows how to play. So he played e4 and I played the Scandinavian. Well, when it comes to the Scandinavian, I probably won't do all of the advertisement pep talk. Why advertisement is such a great defense comparing to some others. But the bottom line is, it's a very provocative choice. And I have played it so many times already, online especially. And people are afraid from this Scandi. I can tell you that. And yeah, about 1 month ago, my 5th Chessable course was released. So of course, I mean, normally when I write stuff, I play it myself. So the Scandinavian Queen a5, d4, Knight f3, c6, Bishop d3. And what makes it pretty interesting is that this kid, so he was like, I don't know, 11 years old, something like that. He played it pretty quickly. And Bishop d3 is the move that I play myself in the recent Latvian championships against another talent. And the big idea is that I cannot really play Bishop f5, which is one of the core ideas for the Scandi. I want to play Bishop f5, e6, etc. But White suddenly plays b4. And I have no good way to protect the bishop. So I take it, takes, Bishop d2, followed by Rook b1. I'm not really sure, maybe Bishop d3, White enjoys a very strong initiative. So what I'm hoping is that you understand the approximate level I'm talking about, right? So my streams, my content usually is a bit advanced. So I try to explain some advanced stuff in an easy language. And if I don't explain it in easy language, then essentially I have failed. But anyway, even in case for you all of this is so alien, all you should understand, this is dangerous, White gets a lot of activity, pawns don't matter, just trust me, bro. Something like that. All right, let's go. So obviously I could have played Bishop f5. So I played Bishop g4 instead. My opponent played Bishop d2. Also, one of the common ideas of the Scandi is that black is not afraid of the potential jump with the knight. I mean, of course, you have to keep your eyes on it, but it's not like knight e4, knight b5, or knight e5 is going to be outright killing, right? So I played knight e7. Yeah, I was not really sure, is it e6 or knight e7? But, I mean, since this is a rapid game, I'm not going to really sit here 5 minutes trying to figure out the nuances. So h3 makes sense. I keep the pin. And in that game, I think my opponent played queen e2. And I played e6. So there was something like this. And I get to play bishop b4, bishop takes on c3 very quickly, which is, again, one of the common ideas of the Scandi. But my opponent played a shook castle. And there's one thing that I know about the Scandi, is that shook castle is highly unambitious choice. So I cannot be in trouble. I play queen b6. By the way, this queen b6 move is something I have mentioned in my course a couple of times. And the big idea is that you're not really threatening to an opponent, like queen takes on b2 or bishop takes on f3 and queen takes on d4. So what I want to do, especially in accelerated time control games, I want my opponent to think about it. So I don't want to take the pawn, but first and foremost, what I want to do, I want to remove my queen from a potential x-ray because I cannot keep it under a potential attack forever. Now there's going to be a moment when white can play something like d5 followed by knight takes on d5, my queen on a5 is misplaced. That's why the common idea is that I should remove it from a5 but find the right timing. So I figured that I can basically kill two birds with one stone. So since I have to remove the queen, I know that queen c7 is the more standard move, but I want to scare white a bit and ask him some questions. What do you do? And the answer arrived, he played knight e4. And I thought, wow, okay, this kid is good. I like him, you know. I like him because he's not afraid to sacrifice the pawns. Now, I took obviously on e4, play knight f6, all of this is pretty standard because I don't think that white can give up the last square bishop against the knight. So he plays bishop d3. And now I have a question. So obviously this is pretty bad, right? I mean, from my understanding, it's pretty bad because even though I might be winning up a pawn, but my king is very exposed. So we're talking about most like possibly g4, knight e5, queen f3, and I need like 1, 2, 3 moves to castle short, and I'm only up a pawn. Well, it doesn't really take a genius to understand that this is very dangerous, so I would never ever go to this position, especially since white can just at some point play queen a1 if he really cares, trade the queens, get a pawn on a7, so a big no-no, obviously. But the more interesting question here is what to do with the pawn on d4. So if I take it here, takes, and queen takes on d4, can I do this? Now, during the game, I was absolutely sure I probably can do it. Because if he plays bishop c3 targeting my queen, I play queen d5, so he has no immediate attack and I'm kind of safe. But what I didn't really like is that even though I'm winning a pawn, for my opponent it becomes very easy to play. Like he could play rook e1, just some developing moves. Again, I can't take on b2 here. We already know the maneuver rook b1, rook b7, so this is the move I'm talking about, right? Rook b1, rook b7. I cannot do that. And if I play e6, I guess I need to develop my pieces. He plays bishop c3 here. Let's say he makes some random move, like queen g3. How do I complete the development here? And that's what I don't like it. Like, if this was a classical game, I would probably consider it. I could go here, I could play bishop d6, and after queen g7 I have rook g8, he could have taken f6 because there's a checkmate on g2. So maybe all of this is actually a mistake, but let's say he does something else and what happens? So there's a main rule. of Blitz and Rapid, keep it simple. Try to play as simple as possible. So even though I see that probably I can take the pawn, I made a judgment decision. I'm not going to do it, so I play e6. So I want to complete my development, and I still keep the potential attack on the pawn on b2 and d4 in the air. So if my opponent is going to invest like a tempo to defend the pawn, it's mission accomplished. So I can play b4. And even though this might feel like it's a nice attacking move from the white's perspective, I was very happy to see it, because I knew that there's an ideal setup from the white's perspective, and it does not involve b4. So the ideal setup for white is something like c4, bishop c3, or if he had a queenside knight, that would be c4 and knight c3. So I was a bit more concerned about that. If he would have played like c4, take away the d5 square, I suppose I still would not take the pawn on d4. About the pawn on b2, I think we already talked that, no, I don't think I'm going to accept this pawn ever. So I was pretty happy to see this. And I, again, straight ignored the pawn on d4. I played bishop d6. He played c4. And this bishop d6, it was a provocation, because I knew he's going to play c4. Because who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't play c4? You're grabbing the center. You want to play c5. So it basically ticks all the boxes. But the point is, when you think about this position a bit deeper, you start to realize once black castles short, and it's going to happen, I'm going to cast short. How exactly white is planning to stop b5? So let me just make some random moves, like whatever. Here, let's say here. I'm going to make some random moves. Here, okay, maybe this is not the best one. So let's say we have this position. You see, I got exactly what I wanted. I got an outpost on d5. I got weakness on d4. So I can just double the heavy pieces and target the pawn on d4. And that's the thing with the move of b4. So white plays b4. It's an aggressive move. But the point is, and now he basically is obliged to play c4 to fight for the d5 square. And now black's b5 is going to win for black, most likely the control of the d5 square. So it's all about the control of the squares. So I walk away. Even here, I castle. Yeah, hello everybody who's saying hello. How are you doing, by the way? I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, I'm just having a vacation, having some educational stream, listening to some classical music. Hope you don't mind it. So I can play queen e2. And I just know the typical plan here, which is double the rooks. Rook d7, rook d8, maybe bishop f4, maybe take on f3, maybe take on d4, and just have an easy game. So what I want to do is trade the bishops, take on f3, double the rooks, and target the pawn on d4. So his bishop is going to be useless and my knight is going to be fantastic. Am I a GM actually? Yeah, I'm afraid I am. You know, I have talked about this several times on my streams. Hey, Casper, how are you doing? The thing is, everything started with Hikaru, with his prefix, GM Hikaru. He started stream about 6 years ago, something like that. And ever since, every self-respecting GM, including Kasper Pieruin, by the way, who's in the chat, also used the prefix GM. But I understand your concern. I can't spell that correctly, pardon me. So the concern is there's also some other people who are using the GM tag and they're not GMs. So I suppose it's a legit question. I am a GM. Latvian number one. Latvian boss. There's the cup. Basically, it confirms I am the boss. All right. Anyway, Sir GM, hello. Yeah, continuing the game. So my opponent played bishop c3. I played bishop b4. So I want to play b5. Oh my goodness, what I'm listening to. All right, listen. I'm all for classical music, but let's just skip it. I don't know what was that. It was not intentional. Anyway, I want to play b5. So my big idea is I want to play b5. If he's gonna take it, let's say he takes the pawn. Where's the music, by the way? Then I play knight e5. And look at this. Look at my piece activity. I have the knight, the bishop, some queen b6 ideas. This is a pin. There's some knight f4 problems, etc. So I'm doing great. But as Kasper immediately already saw, wait, what about d5 here? And this is GM thinking. When an actual GM is playing a game. Wait, I can't hear the music. Let me just skip. When an actual GM is playing a game, he has to account for the responses of the opponent. So this is, by the way, very often the problem of club level players. They get so carried away with their ideas. I'm gonna do this. I have b5 idea. I'm gonna anchor my knight on d5. I'm good. I'm fantastic, and yada yada yada. They forget to think about the opponent. So typical. Even at the pro level, sometimes this happens. So I want to play b5, but I'm concerned about the d5 push. So what do? I play bishop b4. So this makes sense, right? So probably he's going to go here. I'm going to play b5. And after takes, the bishop on c3 is under attack. So he has no time to carry out d5. And if he plays d5 right away, well, let's just put it this way. I quite do not believe it. I'm not really sure why I don't believe it. Is it the capture on c4? Or is it take on d5 and maybe he takes on f6, but I still have the bishops and he has pins and etc. I'm doing great. But he plays here. He plays rook c2. And I'm thinking, again, this kid is good. This kid is good. So he sees I want to play b5. I cannot play b5 just yet, because he's going to play d5. So I'm thinking, okay, let me just proceed with the standard plan. Let me just play rook d7. And I'm thinking, most likely he will be annoyed with a pin. So he's going to play g4. Probably he's going to take on g6 and play something like knight e5. And I thought maybe I can take it or even play rook d6 and g5 and rook d8 and maybe b5 is still going to come at the right moment. So I'm thinking I'm doing okay. I'm not really sure if I'm better, but I think I'm doing okay. And unless I'm going to blunder some silly tactics, I think I'm going to win the game. And here he panicked. He played e5. So he decided to carry out the d5 push because he saw bishop takes on f6 idea. The problem is it doesn't work. So I took it. Even though he ruins my pawn structure, I was not afraid of it. And yeah, here actually I was thinking maybe I shouldn't take the pawn on d5 because I clearly saw he can play queen e4, threatening with a mate. I go here, he takes on d5, he takes on c7, he plays here, but I thought I'm going to win this somehow. So, okay, maybe in a classical game against a very good opponent, I would think twice if I should go here, but in the rapid game, I'm going to drop the pawn on d5 to go for some activity, The pawn at f2 is weak. I think I'm gonna figure it out. Even though the engine, by the way, says that black is just slightly better. Not a big deal. But he didn't find it. He played b5, which is way too slow, and now I'm just killing. Rook d1. Bishop e4, I think it was... Yeah, just rook b5. I think so. I just collect the pawn, so he can take on b5, and I'm just coming in fantastic position. 2 bishops, extra pawn, and everything. He went here, and now it's over. A bishop g6, and yeah, the spin kills. So, knight e1, queen e5, offering trades, he walks away. And now if you want to show how sharp you are, black to play and win. This is, ladies and gentlemen, why you should be doing puzzles. If you're not doing puzzles regularly, if you do not recognize patterns, you will be unable to solve positions in real time. So for Kasper, probably this is a piece of cake. I'm pretty sure he saw it like in 5 seconds, because he's a trained chess killer. But for everybody else, yeah, 3 seconds, okay, sorry. But for everybody else, it's maybe a bit challenging, but ultimately not too difficult. So the point is, if you see that white has some back rank issues, you're gonna solve it. You're getting teased. Yeah. Anyway, it's not super difficult stuff. You take it. And now basically, yeah, okay, my opponent played here and I took on e1. But the big idea is if he takes it and take it, this is how a level 1 puzzle looks at chess.com. There's bishop h2 check, the king moves, and you win the queen. Needless to say, I spotted this like in 5 seconds? Maybe less, I don't remember. Like, it immediately just clicked, yeah, take on d3, take on d3, queen e1, bishop h2, and I won the game. Anyway, it was pretty nice, clean game, and my opponent was playing pretty well. Like I already said at the very beginning, he was a kid, like 11 years old, 12 years old, I'm not really sure. Nice kid, 1800 rated player. But yeah, this d5 push, I think it's also a very characteristic for younger players. They don't have the patience. And this is, by the way, I probably could reveal a small secret. It's going to be my strategy for the World Cup. I'll definitely play against some younger kids. They might be higher rated than me. I will have a lot of patience. I'll just wait for them to come at me. All right.